Today, we continue the tradition of mock draft Mondays on today's action-packed episode of Locked On Fantasy Baseball.
You are Locked On Fantasy Baseball, your daily fantasy baseball podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, fantasy baseball fanatics, and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Baseball podcast, brought to you by the Locked On Sports Network, your team every day. As always, we're your number one source for fantasy baseball knowledge, and thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. I am your host, Dominic Martino, here with my brother and my co-host, as always, Matthew Arne.
Yo.
You can find us on all social media platforms and podcasting apps. Just search for Locked On Fantasy Baseball, and we'll be there. Guys, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment anywhere you're listening, and especially on YouTube, because we love to go back and forth with you guys about fantasy baseball. So, as I mentioned, on today's episode, Matt and I are teaming up once again here on Mock Draft Mondays, which we will be doing until the season starts. Today, we're picking out of the 11 hole, and we're going to give you guys some great strategy on how to succeed when you're picking towards the end of your drafts.
Yeah, buddy.
So, Matt, if you want to take the lead here and mention anything else as we get started here, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So 11 hole is kind of a little bit trickier than having the 12, the butt end of the draft where you get the picks back to back. You do have somebody doing two picks in between you. So you almost have to play the ADP game on every single step of the way. And you'll see us do that throughout the episode. So pay attention for that. But let me get this all loaded up now. Let me show you, since I've already started it this time. First 10 picks off the board were Aaron Judge at number 1, Jose Ramirez at number 2, Yordan 3, Acuna 4, Ohtani 5, Trey Turner 6, Julio Rodriguez 7, Juan Soto 8, Kyle Tucker 9, Mookie Betts 10. And we're on the clock, Dom.
I mean, this is kind of, to me, I don't know if I've seen Vlad be on the board this late into the first round. So, first base is kind of thin. And as much as if you guys, have been listening, or if you're new here, Matt and I love Vinny P. And big shout out to the Italian Breakfast, to the home run in his first game in spring training, went 2 for 2. As much as I love waiting for him, I think Vlad is the pick here, man. I really don't see anybody else that I would take over him.
I mean, for me, it's always Vlad or Freddie Freeman, but I like the upside of Vlad with that power. We can pretty much just lock that up. So,
yes,
let's rock with it.
Yeah. And the Vlad looked great in his first game. He hit a bomb. I think he had a couple of hits. Looks good so far this year. Hopefully he has that, another big year like he did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's check it out now. So, after Vlad went, we had Garrett Cole and Corbin Burns. That's a weird pick. It's strong, in terms of
for us.
Really, it really does. We get pretty much the pick of the litter here. I've never seen this happen, so this is going to be an interesting draft with having somebody drafting like that in front of us. So
yeah, it's a weird year to go pocket aces, especially when pitching is so deep. You would normally want to, this year specifically, you would normally want to try and get a bat with one of your first couple of picks.
Yeah, if not 2 back-to-back this year. So we already got our first baseman, even though Freddie Freeman came back to us. So, Dom, I don't think we're taking an arm yet, even though 2 aces went off the board.
Absolutely not. Real quick, Matt, I would just ask you if you could. Can we get the high drafted players up there on the top?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just go back to the cheat sheet, and it's on the right-hand side if you scroll all the way up. Yeah, right there.
Got you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, brother. So let's see who's there as far as outfield goes, because outfield is so weak, and normally, oh my God, Mike Trout is there. See, now the thing is, Mike Trout was dealing with those chronic back issues last year, but he's going to hit close to 300. 40 plus bombs is in the cards. The lineup is a little bit better this year, and with the Angels. And so, the RBIs or runs are going to be there. He's not really going to steal any bases, but he is an elite 4 category guy. I do like Mike Trout here, Matt. I would love to hear your thoughts, though.
I mean, I'm game for Trout because Trout is incredible. When he's healthy, he's the best player in baseball. It's pretty
Yeah.
much just the best way to describe this is the Jacob deGrom debate.
Yes.
Are you willing to pick up him and just risk him being out for stints throughout the season, or do you want somebody a little bit more consistent? But here's the thing, though: if I look at my rankings, right, I really have Mike Trout as my highest one, and then it's Luis Roberts, which is pretty much the same thing. We're just waiting on that breakout. Schwarber, who I don't feel comfortable as my outfield one, even though I haven't ranked that way, and Eloy. Like I'm pretty much right on sync. I think we just go Trout, call it a day.
Yeah. I have Mike Trout as my number 6 outfielder, Matt. Did you say where you have him?
I got him as my number 8th, so we're not too far off.
Oh, right in sync there. And I think that's a good move. But now, see, with our next pick, if we're going bat, I think we should start looking for somebody that's got a little bit of speed.
Yes.
Because, we're not going to really get much speed from Vladdy or Mike Trout.
Let me just read this off.
Look that route. Yeah, of course, brother.
All right, we got Mr. Machado, Bobby Witt Jr., Freddie Freeman, Aaron Nola, Bo Bichette, Goldschmidt, Pete Alonso, Devers, Sandy Alcantara, Fernando Tatis, Austin Riley, Dylan Cease, Jose Altuve, Strider, Michael Harris, Jacob deGrom in the third. That's great value. Max Scherzer, Marcus Semien, JT Realmuto, and Ozzy Albies.
Fair enough. See, now this is where second base really starts to thin out, but I think third round is just a little bit early for Jazz. Even though I do love Jazz, he's just the counting stats might not be there, more because of the team than him, and the batting average is a little suspect too. So you're really only getting him for that speed and power combo. This is where it gets kind of tough in this sense. Shortstop is so deep. I mean, I do like Francisco Lindor, but once again, we could kind of wait at shortstop and get somebody that will give you similar value. Oh, Matt, what are you thinking here, brother? I'm a little bit torn up, to be honest.
So speed is kind of here, but it's kind of not. This is kind of where my head's at right now. We can go Roberts, who's my highest ranked outfielder right now, and get that 5-star 5 category contributor if he's healthy. Then to pair him with Trout is a little scary. Or this is my other thought. We go Nola. Right?
We could go out. Third base is super thin, so that's a great pick too.
And then I'm still not ready to grab an arm yet because, I mean, if we're looking at, there's still McClanahan, Verlander, and Woodruff. Like, I'm good. I could play the ADP game. I guarantee only 2 of those guys go out of the next 20 picks. At least I pray. And then we go Jazz on the back end for the speed.
I have Nolan Arenado ranked as my 4th third baseman, so I think that's a solid move. Our batting average is going to be elite. Our runs and RBIs are going to be elite. Our home runs are going to be elite. This almost looks like it could wind up being a punt steals type of team. I normally don't like to punt categories, but when you have to, you have to. So if this team takes that route, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, let's go Nolan.
Yeah, worst case, how we make up for that is we kind of dominate and save. So that's how you compensate. So let's see how this plays out. Let's see who falls to us.
I do like that pick, though. I think it's a solid pick.
All right, so Verlander and Rodon went. So again, I'm still not upset at all here. And Jazz is still there, and so is Roberts. There's Cedric Mullins, there's Adolis Garcia, and I mean, pitching still looks great here.
Yeah, it does. I'm kind of torn here. I think Jazz is a very good pick here because the way our team is built. I was just talking about how Jazz might only contribute in two categories, but all of the other categories we've kind of are near the top, I would assume, at this point with runs, RBIs, home runs, even batting average. So if Jazz's batting average isn't great and his counting stats aren't great, it doesn't really matter at this point because the other guys will bounce that back up. So Matt, I think Jazz is a pretty good pick here.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, too, I mean, well, I'll give a little rant on Jazz. He still has the upside to still bat like 265, 270, and that will bring it up. And if the guys in front of him get on base this season, his ribbies could be there. He's a great bat. So I still feel like it was still a solid pick. And I still think he can contribute in 5 categories.
Yes, sure.
All right, let's do this real quick. So After Jazz, we had Lindor. Oh no, we had Lindor and Edwin Diaz, McClanahan, Woodruff, Classe because he's classy. Randy Rosarina, Javier Baez, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Matt Olson, Cedric Mullins, Shane Bieber, Varsho, Zach Gallen, Luis Roberts, Julio Urias, Gosman, Alec Manoa, Josh Hader, Corey Seager. And before we even make our next pick, Dom, we have somebody lovely we need to talk to. You want to take that away?
Yeah, we sure do, my brother. So guys, once again, as I always say, if you're like me, you have a full-time job, you'd like to hit the gym sometimes, you need a quick snack that isn't too high on calories but still tastes great, you've got to try Built Bar. I'm not sure how Built Bar does it, but these bars taste delicious while maintaining amazing macros. What's even better is that they are healthy for you. Built Bars only have 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein, which is unbelievable. They come in great flavors like cookies and cream, double chocolate, and coconut puffs. And guess what, guys? Now you don't even have to wait around to get a box because for years we've been talking about getting your Built Bars only at Built.com. But nowadays they are available at your local Walmart or Sam's Club as well. So, guys, I don't know what you're still waiting around for. Go out and get you guys a couple of boxes of Built Bar today.
Yeah, buddy.
So with that being said, guys, we're jumping back in here. And I think at this point we have to grab an SP. And it looks like Zack Wheeler still floating around, which is actually pretty good value. I have him as my number 10 starting pitcher. So I think that's the move. I think that's the move is just get Zack Wheeler.
Yep, I would completely agree. He's my number 9. So
there we go. We got
all right.
lucky with that one, guys.
Yeah, Castillo and I didn't see the other guy. Castillo and Bregman.
Max Fried? No, Bregman.
Yeah. So we're good there. Now here's the thing, right? So as of right now for our team, let me read this off since it's been a little bit. We went Vladimir Guerrero Jr., then we went Mike Trout, then we have Nolan Arenado, and Jazz Chisholm, and now Zack Wheeler as our pitcher. So we're doing really good here. I think that our team is solid. We got, the positional scarcities out of the way, and it's pretty much elite, along with, having a steal guy. So I'm pretty excited about this. I think we need to go outfielder.
Yeah, I was looking at outfield as well. I mean, even though, you know what the thing is there's not really another starting pitcher that I would love to snag right now that has great value, and starting pitcher so deep. So I'm gonna ask that as well. Outfield might be the move, as you said, Matt. Is there anyone there specifically that you're thinking about?
Yeah, so there's about two guys. There's 2 guys I'm really considering. Adolis Garcia, just because of the steals opportunity, and that can help us make up for it. Plus, he hits for average, and he should at least get home a lot. Or we go for power and we just pounce up and we go with Eloy Jimenez and just keep everything elite in terms of that, and just let Jazz be the guy that chips it in and hopefully stays healthy and does what he needs to do for us.
Yeah, I love Eloy too. I have Eloy currently ranked as my number 11 outfielder, so I think that's the move.
I bet that's kind of what I was hoping you were going to say. Let's boom.
Yeah.
So Eloy went to us, and wow, so we're still okay.
Yeah, wow. I think only 1 or 2 starting pitchers went there, so that works out for us.
Yes, sir. And you know what? With the way our team is, situated right now, we have 2 elite outfielders and only 1 to go. I think we can kind of lay off of that moving forward.
Definitely.
So we're in great shape here. So after Eloy went Max Fried, Will Smith, Adolis Garcia, and Iglesias, Jordan Romano, Rutschman, Springer, Reynolds, Framil Valdez, Williams, the closer. Sorry, I jumped up here. Teoscar Hernandez, Yu Darvish, Salvador Perez, Joe Musgrove, Starling Marte, Ryan Presley, Tommy Edmonds, Bogarts, O'Neill Cruz, Corbin Carroll.
So it does look like there was a little shortstop run there.
And we don't feel like getting stuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, not that there's anybody. I do like Tim Anderson kind of fits what we're doing here, to be honest. But I don't know if I would take him right now. What starting pitchers are there? Let's check up on the starting pitchers, because maybe this is the time to grab your number 2.
Well, So right off the top, a couple names that are sticking out to me is obviously Tristan McKenzie. Too early for Tyler Glass now. If Nestor wasn't hurt, this would be a phenomenal pick.
Well, I'll tell you this: they had I saw some highlights of Nestor throwing again, and he was throwing off the mound, and he looked very very good. I didn't see. I would have to look it up, which I can do, but I think he might be close to on track for his first start. I'm gonna Matt, if you want to rant for a second here about what
Mhm.
you're thinking, I'm gonna pull up and see what how things look for Nestor.
Yeah. So I mean, Nestor would be great. I would love him if he was healthy. Let's see what Dom has to come up with. There is Tristan McKenzie. We all know I love him. He has upside out the wazoo, but I'd prefer him as in my number 3 pitcher. In all honesty, right now, so I'm kind of leaning Blake Snell as my 2. I feel
Ooh.
that he would be the right choice. Right now we have no information whether he's throwing that changeup again, but I'm going to assume he's not. Hopefully, he kind of got smart and figured not to throw it. That would be like my choice right there. Would be Blake Snell or even Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, see, I hear what you're saying there. I do have, out of all of the pitchers left, I think I do have Glass now the highest. I
Mm,
mean, he's super, super risky. It's like the guy could come out and throw 130 innings. He could have a Spencer Strider type of season where, he just comes out 130 innings, 200 plus strikeouts. The ERA and WHIP are going to be elite, but it is super risky, especially the team he plays for. Got the gear on here, the Tampa, and they like to baby their starting pitcher sometimes. So he might get the 5 innings and out more often than not. We have Zack Wheeler, who is a workhorse. Matt, what do you think about Kershaw? Because I have Kershaw and Glass now back to back. I have Kershaw at 24. I have Glass now at 24. Kershaw at 25. So I wouldn't be mad at Kershaw here because the upside of Kershaw is a top 10 pitcher if he's healthy the whole season.
I mean, I like Kershaw. Him is my number 2. I said I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm kind of okay with him or Snell.
I have Snell at 32. So where do you have them ranked? Let's see if we could get a tiebreaker here.
So Snell is at 26. I have Kershaw at 21. So I guess the answer is
There we
Kershaw.
go.
All right, let's
So
go
we'll
Kershaw.
take Mr. Clayton and just hope that his back holds up.
We know it won't, but he's still going to be solid. Now
Yeah, the
here's
thing is with Clayton, if the timing of the injury works out right, and let's say he gets hurt in May, and it winds up he's there for your back end, it winds up really really paying off.
yeah. So I'm a little upset that Franco went because I was kind of hoping he would fall because
Yeah.
he would have been a great fit for what we're trying to do too. But Tim Anderson's still there. Do you want to play this ADP game because we also have Pena here that we can hopefully he just doesn't
Yeah,
go.
yeah. And then I'll tell you the guy that I really love, and I think he's so underrated, is Amin Rosario. Amin Rosario had such a sneaky good year last year, and I think everyone's just sleeping on him. And that Cleveland team is actually pretty solid. So we could play that game, but if we do, where else would you want to go? Maybe we could even look at getting a catcher right now too, because let's see who's there as far as catcher goes. There might be some sneaky good catchers floating around.
I mean, to be honest, there's a whole bunch, and
Ooh, my boy, Big Willie. I know you love Alejandro Kirk.
yeah, I mean, right now though, I mean, we're so early in the draft with our team. Like, if I'm gonna grab any like small positional thing, I'd probably want to go and grab like a high end closer right now
Could do that as well. Ryan
because
Helsley is great.
yeah, because we're sitting on like low steals. We kind of want to snag a closer that at least we're not complete out of luck on in the saves category. Like we can definitely go Helsley.
Yeah, I would say Helsley's a pretty solid pick right now.
Yeah, I think that's the pick. Boom.
Yeah, Ryan Helsley just kind of, almost came out of nowhere last year and just stole that, a closer's job for the Cardinals, and he looked absolutely elite. He's still fairly young. I definitely like the upside of Helsley on that Cardinals team.
Yeah. All right. So let me read off the team before I read off who went so far. So at first we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's a mouthful. We have Chad Chisholm Jr. We have a lot of juniors on this team. Nolan Arenado, Mike Trout, Eloy Jimenez, Zack Wheeler, Clayton Kershaw, and Ryan Helsley. The picks that went off the board after we kicked Helsley, Jimenez, Dansby Swanson, Jose Abreu, Tristan McKenzie, Tim Anderson,
There we
Willie
go.
Adames, Gunnar Henderson, Byron Buxton, Kyle Wright, Kenley Jansen, Batista, Glasnow, Ahmed Rosario, Carlos Correa, Pena, Camilo Duvall, Vinny Pascantino, Nate Lowe, MJ Melendez, and Reese Hoskins. So
Damn, see that shortstop run is might
killer,
have killed us.
killer. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they even took my boy Alman Rosario, so I think we got stuck, to be honest.
Yeah, we got murdered there. Shoot.
I'll tell you what I've done a few times in mock drafts where I got stuck at shortstop is just wait for Oswald Peraza and hope that the Yankees give him a starting job and play it that way. But once again, that's going to have to come way later now. And the rest of our team looks pretty solid, so we're not really worried about missing out at shortstop right now. We did get the elite closer. Once again, I would say I would want to look at maybe a catcher here or our third starting pitcher.
This is terrible. I'm really not happy right now.
Yeah, sometimes you play that ADP game and you lose.
Mm, um, yeah.
So once again, Matt, I would say let's scroll over here and let's see what starting pitchers and catchers are there. If there's an elite catcher still, I love the Contreras brothers. I love Tyler Stevenson. Even I know Matt. I know you're a big Alejandro Kirk guy. So I say to supplement not getting a fair like a pretty good catcher, maybe we look at
I mean shortstop.
oh yeah. Since we didn't get a good shortstop, we maybe supplement that by getting a good catcher and being towards the top tier with them.
I guess. I mean, I would go Kirk then. I'm just upset here. It's
Yeah.
either Wilson Contreras or Kirk for me.
I know you're a Kirk guy, so let's go Kirk here. I'm a little bit lower on Kirk because he had that down second half, but you know what, brother? Let's go with your guy here and let's ride that wave. Now I
All right.
think we definitely go back to starting pitching though.
Yeah, Logan Webb and Stephen Kwan went. So yeah, we need to do this. Just that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you play that game and you don't win, but we're in a great spot for starting pitching right now.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think I have Severino the highest out of all of these guys, but I wouldn't be mad at Kirby. I wouldn't be mad at Gilbert, Gilly, as we call him on this podcast. I wouldn't be mad at Blake Snell. I wouldn't. Well, Hunter Green, I like him as my fourth. Freddie Peralta, I would like more as a fourth. So I think it's between Sevy, Gilly, Kirby, and Snell. Matt, if you want to make that call, I'm fine with any of those four guys as my number 3 starting pitcher.
Yeah. I think we go. It's between Sevy and Snell, so I'll give you the pick.
Oof, I do have Sevy super high as my 23rd starting pitcher, and I got Snell at 32. The thing is Snell is just a little risky in the sense of if he's out there doing his own thing, throwing that change up again, and he wants to play that, I'm just going to do what I want. I'm Blake Snell type of ordeal. I don't like that. I think Sevy coming back off of, the Tommy John was absolutely great last year. And, I think he's only going to build off of it this year. He can throw 180 innings, 200 plus Ks. The ERA and whip is good. He's on a fantastic team for wins. Oh, and look who's at the top. My boy, little KB Toy Store, Chris Bryant. I do love Chris Bryant for a bounce back.
Yes, sir. Let's just read off who went real quick. So Tyler O'Neill, George Kirby, Nasty Nestor, Jake McCarthy, Giancarlo Stanton, Yandy Diaz, Suzuki, Blake Snell, Trevor Story, William Contreras, I apologize. Anthony Santander, the bank himself, Christian Yelich, Ty France, Taylor Ward, Jeff McNeil, Nick Castellanos, Estrada, Gilbert, Gleyber Torres, and Hunter Green. So I do like the Chris Bryant pick. I just want to see where we're at with shortstop. It's just getting really ugly.
Oh yeah, I mean Nico Horner is solid. If you want to click on Nico Horner there and just pull up his stats, and we could read those off because he had like a sneaky good year last year. Nico Horner played 135 games. He had 60 runs, 10 bombs, 55 RBIs, 20 steals, and he had 281. Cubs lineup is only going to be better this year. I think Nico Horner gets like a full season to show what he can really do. I believe he's still fairly young. We could take that route. I wouldn't be mad at grabbing Nico Horner here, but it's slim pickings here at shortstop, Matt. You can make the call if you like. I don't know how high you want Nico Horner. Let's see where I have him ranked at shortstop. It's probably not high enough.
To be honest, man, At this
Go ahead.
point, we're just gonna blow it. Like we're gonna just
Yeah.
not even worry about it. Let's just get the power here and Chris
Yeah,
Bryant.
let's take KB. Chris Bryant is somebody who had plantar fascia last year. He had a little bit of a back issue. From everything I've seen and heard, he's ready full go for spring training, and I think Chris Bryant just has a huge bounce back year this year.
Yeah. So here's how I'm thinking this. I'm not even gonna look at shortstop for a little bit. I like your idea of going with
Oswald Peraza.
not really.
Okay, fair enough.
I hate Peraza. Truth, I don't.
Oof.
I'm. He's good, but he's not
That's
my
tough
favorite.
words coming from a Yankee fan.
Yeah, he's good for what we need him for in real baseball, but for fantasy, I don't think he's going to be the stalwart person we want. I'm actually going to say like we don't have a bench in this draft, guys, but the way I would make up for this is I'd pick Anthony Volpe and just get all the steals in the
Yeah,
world because he's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
break camp. That would be my last pick of our like one of my picks to make up for it. Because he's a value. I would say let's look at another pitcher here and get that
Oh,
rolling.
definitely. I'm on board with that. And I see Freddie Peralta sitting around there, and I mean, we're already a little risky at starting pitcher, so that might not be the best pick for us. But I don't know who else there that is super safe at this point as far as starting pitcher
Actually,
goes.
I see Tony Gonsolin. That would maybe be my pick. But I also I'm seeing Clay Holmes here, and let's lock up saves too. And like,
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad move either. We could go Clay Holmes, and then we have two pretty strong closers. I like that.
yeah. And the only reason why is, guys, we're low on saves. We don't really have a shortstop. But hey, this is what happens in a draft. You play the game. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you win. But now we just locked up saves. Like we have two really good closers on two really good teams. Like St. Louis, low key is going to be really good this year.
Oh yeah,
They're and Clay and Yankees are the Yankees. They're going to win 100 games, and Clay Holmes is going to be the beneficiary of it. So I think we just lock that up, and I want to get one later down the road as well. But now I think we hit this right. I say we get another starting pitcher here. Freddie Peralta is still there. Then we have
I love Freddie Peralta. To be honest, I think that's super good value on him.
yeah no let's do it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think Freddie Peralta's the pick there.
Yeah, no, that's incredible value here. And I'm going to read
Yeah.
off our team after all the picks go. So let's read off the team, do a little recap. So at catcher, we have Alejandro Kirk, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jazz Chisholm, Nolan Arenado at third, Mike Trout, Eloy, Chris Bryant. That's our outfield. Then Zack Wheeler, Clayton Kershaw, Ryan Helsley, Clay Holmes, Luis Severino, and Freddie Peralta. That's a solid team. I'm not even going to lie. Like, even though I don't have we don't have a shortstop, like, yo, this team is really good. Like, we have a good amount of power and average to the point where, like, yo, like, good luck touching us in that. And then, ribbies and runs all around, just like we're good there. We don't have steals, but we have saves. We definitely have saves locked up. We have great guys with great ERA and case for days. Um, in between Kershaw, Wheeler, Sevy, and Peralta. So the team is very strong. Like it's ugly to face, but I tell you right now, we would roll this out in a real league and we'd have a really good time.
Yeah, Matt. I think we could go another starting pitcher here. I see Joe Ryan there. I see Jordan Montgomery. I see Jeffrey Springs. Those are all guys that I definitely love as a number 5 starting pitcher. We could get us a utility bat. I'm not sure exactly who I'd be targeting if we were doing that. Big Oscar G is still there on the board. Oscar Gonzalez, took the league by storm last year, especially towards the end of the year. That's definitely a solid pick as a first utility. Supplements our outfield in case Trout is missing for a while or KB's health isn't great. Yeah, Matt, if that's the move you want to go, I'll take Oscar Gonzalez here.
Yeah, it just adds to our plethora of one with depth in outfield, and two, it adds to just that plethora of power and average and counting stats all around. So like, again, we're just building on our strengths and just gonna make sure that we're just locking down those categories week in and week out, making up for not having a shortstop pretty much.
Yeah.
So here's how we do this now. Now we got that going. Let's see what's left here in terms of starting pitchers. Oh, let me read off the picks. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so after Peralta and went Josh Bell, Nemo, then went after Gonzalez, Jesus Luzardo, Andrew Vaughn, Joe Ryan, Brandon Lowe, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Sale, Jorge Polanco, Jeffrey Springs, Ian Happ, Whit Merrifield. That's so early for him. He's not going to have a good year. Yeah, Duran, Renfro, Montgomery, Giolito, Pablo Lopez, Mitch Haniger, Nico Horner, Andres Munoz, Luis Garcia, Kodai Senga.
Yeah, that starting pitcher super getting really thin now. I think we gotta at least try and grab one to,
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
um, out of everybody there. I do like Grayson, but we're so risky already. We've taken so many risks at starting pitcher right now. And I see John Gray there. Eddie Cabrera is great too. We have two close picks right now, right?
Yeah.
So I would say I would do this. I would take two starting pitchers here, to be honest. I'd probably take John Gray first, since like this is the thing about knowing your draft room, right? We're drafting here on Draft Wizard, and they're probably going to go chalky ADP. So if we take John Gray, who's higher, Eddie Cabrera will still be there for us with our next pick. And what I'm saying by this is know who you're drafting with. If you've been in a long-term keeper league, you kind of already might know some tendencies. You might know who's a fan of what team, who's a fan of what players. Keep that in mind as you're picking. And if you're just drafting in a regular league on Yahoo, I mean, go get your guys, but also know what order players are coming off the board, and know if you could sneak a guy in late. So I would say my plan would be, Matt, you could chime in and tell me what you're thinking here. I'm thinking John Gray because he's safe. He's going to throw a lot of innings, big strikeouts. The ERA may not be crazy good. The whip might be solid. But I think John Gray is going to do good on that Texas team for a second year there. And I love Eddie Cabrera as a breakout for this year.
I'm leaning more Cabrera. I have Cabrera much higher than I do John Gray.
Oh,
John,
me too. But I was just like, as I was saying, I think we can get both of them right here. And I think that's the play, in my opinion, unless you
I
want to try and get another bat as well.
see the thing is I'm looking at it two ways. I mean, I see Edwin Cabrera and then I see Jack Flaherty.
Yeah,
Um,
Flaherty's good too. And Kopech, I'm sure, is still floating around
and
somewhere.
Kopech is down there, right here, right next to Hunter Brown, who's another guy we like late.
Oh yeah, and who got hurt? Somebody got hurt in the Astros rotation too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lance McCullers. It was Lance McCullers. So
Yeah.
Hunter Brown might actually have that spot. Yeah, so we go Eddie Cabrera here. I was just saying I think John Gray kind of fits the our team in the sense of he's kind of solid. I don't think he's super injury prone or anything, but I love Eddie Cabrera. I think he's gonna have a monster breakout year. So I'm not mad at that at all.
We're already risky enough with pitching. Why not just add to it? So,
I hear
so
you. So here maybe we add our second utility bat. It would be Matt.
I think I think we stray away because there's a lot of depth still at pitcher that we like.
Yeah, so let's scroll back up and let's see who's there. I see Jock Peterson, who I do a large new bar.
Yeah,
We do already have a backup outfielder. I would kind of like to get somebody else at a different position. So on a
yeah.
weekly basis, you can kind of if you're in a daily league where you can sub guys in and out daily. Oh, I see Jonathan India there is second base. Second base is
Von
pretty
Grissom.
Von Grissom actually I believe he got a hit in that first game. He went 1 for 2 in the first spring training game. We're kind of hoping he wins that job. So I wouldn't be mad at India or Grissom. I don't really see too many. I do like Jose Miranda as well. Jose Miranda is very underrated this year.
Mm-hmm.
Played first and third eligibility in most leagues. Matt, I'll let you take your pick here. We're pretty much high in all the same guys at this point. So what are you feeling?
We're gonna roll with Von Grissom.
Yeah, Von Grissom, man, he could have a huge breakout year this year. I think if he gets that job out of spring training, the sky's the limit for the kid. He's got pop, he's got speed, and hitting in that Braves lineup. I mean, could have a good amount of runs and RBIs as well.
Yes, sir.
But I think we sneak back into starting pitching here now because our team we're wrapping up our team pretty much over here.
Let me just read off the team real quick. So we got Alejandro Kirk, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jazz Chisholm, Nolan Arenado, Mike Trout, Eloy Jimenez, Chris Bryant, Oscar Gonzalez, Von Grissom, Zack Wheeler, Clayton Kershaw, Ryan Hensley, Clay Holmes, Luis Severino, Freddie Peralta, Edwin Cabrera. So, and then the picks that went off the board in between us now after Von Grissom, Walker Buehler, which he's not pitching this year. That's a waste of a pick. Brady Singers, Tyler Stevenson, Josh Rojas, Jose Miranda, John Gray, Paul Sewall, Alex Cobb, Aaron Ashby, Fairbanks, Grayson Rodriguez, Jorge Mateo, Pablo Sandoval, Lance McCullers, Frankie Montas, DJ LeMahieu, Merrill Kelly, Cody Bellinger, Jose Leclerc, and Jack Flaherty.
Matt, you
right
must have
before us.
been a big Pablo Sandoval guy. It's Patrick Sandoval.
Yeah, dude, I'm tired. We partied a little hard last night.
It happens, brother. I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm sure all the Pablo Sandoval fans are happy out there anyway, because guy was great in his prime for the Giants.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. So I want to just see what's here real quick. So there is a little Sir Anthony Dominguez. There is Craig Trimble, who I think is going to be the
Yeah, see
closer.
that one Matt and I do disagree on. I think Sir Anthony runs with the job because they might do a committee type of ordeal and mix and match. But if I had to say who's going to dominate the closer role at the beginning, I think Sir Anthony Dominguez because he was pretty dominant the last 2 years and he finished the last year closing for the Phillies. So I think we can snag a closer with our last pick, and I love Alex Lange. I think
Yeah.
Evan Phillips might even get the nod for the Dodgers at the start of the year. Who knows what they're truly going to do?
Okay. So you know what? We'll wait on that.
Yeah, we could grab another. I'd say maybe one more starter here. Let's see who's available.
Okay. Heaney,
Definitely.
right off the bat.
Definitely not Jose Barrios.
God no. You couldn't pay me to take him. Eric Lauer.
Is Kopech still? I say take Kopech. I think Kopech is just. We talked about Kopech in our late round. I think he's there at 82. Looks like.
Yes, sir. Done deal.
Yeah, take Kopech. We talked about Kopech in our late round targets starting pitcher episode, and I just think sky is the limit for Kopech. If you want to hear more about a Kopech breakdown, go listen to our late round pitcher targets. And we did a great breakdown of Kopech on that episode. But as we're wrapping this up here, Matt, we just have shortstop now and one more pitcher, right?
Right. Why
So
don't we
I
just
guess,
go get our shortstop now?
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Well, I
see
mean,
what
if you do want to take Volpe,
Oh,
I don't think he's gonna go.
I found
See,
Mr.
that's the
Stelia,
thing.
Mr. Stelia girl
He
yourself, bro.
fits our team, but I don't know if he's actually starting this year for the Marlins. I remember seeing. Let me pull up their roster resource here real quick because I remember hearing and seeing. What does the note say there? They avoided arbitration. Okay, that doesn't really mean anything.
They signed a 1-year deal. Covering 24 season terms, power career. 41 stolen bases is what I really like about it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Right now, I'm looking at roster resource, and he is not in that starting lineup. It's Luis Ariz at second, Gene Segura at third, Jazz Chisholm batting third, playing center field. I love that for our team. Garrett Cooper at first, Avisel Garcia in right field, Jorge Soler at DH, Joey Wendell at short, Brian De La Cruz in left field, and Jacob Stallings at catcher. So I don't necessarily want to risk that.
No,
it is pretty risky. I say let's grab another closer, and then we could wrap up and just take Volpe if that's what you want to do. Because there's a chance that Volpe breaks camp and takes the world by storm. And if not, there will definitely be somebody on the waiver wire that we could snag, early in the year and go that route.
Yeah, I completely agree. So who are we picking then? We're gonna just take Lange.
I like. We can go Lange. I do like Evan Phillips, but Evan Phillips is risky in the sense of I don't know if he's getting the closer job. So if you want to take a safe bet, I've heard Lange is going to get the job there. I don't know, and so that's the move there, in my opinion.
All right, done deal. Lange is picked. You know what, guys? Here's the thing: we all talk as if because we're doing this so early, but we pretty much know that Volpe's going to break camp. There's no way he doesn't at this point, and he already showed off some stuff yesterday game. So I think that it's pretty much a lock for him. We're pretty much gold. And then Cribble went, Reed Demeters, Jose Barrios, Evan Phillips,
Jonathan Schreiber.
Yeah, thank you. Andrew Heaney, Cal
Raleigh.
Thank you. Ranger Suarez, Hunter Brown, Jorge Lopez, Miles Michaelis, Travis d'Arnaud, Garrett Whitlock, Nathan Eovaldi, Sonny Gray, Tom Murphy,
Hebert Ruiz.
Yeah, keeping it Ruiz. That's how I'm looking at it. Ross Stripling, Trevor Rogers, great pick.
Great pick.
And Dylan Floro. We already know our pick here. Let's just go get Volpe.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know if I'm as gung-ho. I mean, pick Volpe. I don't know necessarily that he's 100% going to break camp. The reason that I've been taking Oswald Peraza later because he did come up last year, so I think there's a better chance he does. But Volpe has a higher upside, right? Volpe could be that guy that comes in, like Matt said, steals 30 bases, hits, 15, 20 bombs. The counting stats could be fantastic. The batting average could be plus. So, Volpe is the higher ranked prospect, anyway. All right, we did better than last time,
Yeah.
according to
Yeah,
according to Draft Wizard.
their rankings or whatever. Ah,
Yeah.
but one thing about Volpe is too, he's probably going to play second, so he's also going to have that second base eligibility. So we'll also be able to sneak him in for Jazz and pick up a shortstop, and and if we were running this team, down the line for when Jazz gets hurt. And now we pretty much locked up Steals if he does come up, which he will. There's no way he doesn't at this point. It's not like we're talking about Hassan Dominguez, however to say his name.
Chisholm Dominguez, man,
Yeah.
he hit that monster home run yesterday, and I think he's gonna have a breakout year too. But I don't think he's still too young. I don't think he sees much big league time this year, unless it's a cup of coffee at the end.
I think that's where we're leaning. What? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that concludes our draft. Next time we'll just do better at drafting shortstop a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But Dom, take it away.
Yeah, guys, so that's all for today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Also, check out our website if you haven't already. Matt and I have our rankings on there. We have a little bit about us. You could find access to all of our episodes on there. We update our rankings pretty often, and I believe we have another big rankings update coming soon or maybe next week. Also, guys, thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. After you make us your first listen, make your second listen Locked On MLB Prospects. Our colleague Lindsey Crosby hosts that. He was on our podcast a few weeks ago talking about the top 10 prospects for this fantasy baseball season. He's an encyclopedia of prospect knowledge. He'll give you all that prospect knowledge you need for this upcoming 2023 fantasy baseball season. And guys, please be sure to tune back in tomorrow where Matt and I start our positional rankings. I believe we are going to start with first base, and that series will be action-packed. A lot of information for you guys on who to target at each position. But guys, until then,
peace.